Good morning. Welcome to Morning Special. 여러분 안녕하세요. 6월 19일 수요일 최수진의 Morning Special입니다. Trees are certainly living testimony of nature's prowess, and in most fortunate cases, they tend to survive the test of time. But sadly, one such tree, presumed to be some 600 years old, broke and fell, reminding us that even the tallest and sturdiest of treasures can easily be lost forever. 경남 진주성 내 호국사 앞에 서 있던 수령 600년 된 느티나무가 갑자기 쓰러졌다고 합니다. 사적 제118호인 이 나무는 높이 15m, 둘레가 3.8m로 성내에서 수령이 가장 오래됐다고 하는데요. 다행히 인명피해는 없었다고 합니다. 이창봉 진주성관리사업소장에 따르면 쓰러진 고목 밑동은 대부분 텅 빈 상태였는데 나뭇가지와 나뭇잎 무게를 견디지 못하고 쓰러진 것 같다고 말했는데요. 600년 된 나무라고 하니 대견하면서도 안타까운 일입니다. With that in mind, let me give you a quiz question. Most trees have a strong body that supports branches and leaves. Now, these bodies are known as 1번 trunks, 2번 junks. 오늘도 청취자 여러분의 많은 참여 기다리고 있습니다. 여러분의 퀴즈 정답 보내주신 분들 중에 추첨을 통해서 총 5분께 쿨링 스포츠 젤 보내드리겠습니다. 또 여러분의 소식과 소감 그리고 방송 중 궁금한 질문 있으면 보내주세요. 짧은 문자는 50원, 긴 문자는 100원에 샵 1045로 보내주시고요. 반디 게시판이나 카카오톡 플러스 이용도 가능합니다. Okay, then let's kick off today's show with today's global headlines. 세계 각국 언론사들의 어떤 헤드라인이 올라왔는지 살펴보는 시간입니다. Touch Global Headlines.
U.S. President Donald Trump kicks off his 2020 re-election bid in Orlando, Florida.
도널드 트럼프 미국 대통령이 오늘 플로리다주 올랜도에서 재선 도전을 공식 선언합니다.
The Trump administration said it will not allow new aid funding to the Central American nations of El Salvador, Honduras, and Guatemala.
트럼프 행정부가 엘살바도르, 과테말라, 온두라스 등 중미 3개국의 원조 중단이라는 압박카드를 빼들었습니다.
At least 13 people have been killed and 200 injured after a 6.0 magnitude earthquake hit Sichuan province in southern China.
중국 서남부 스촨성에서 규모 6.0의 지진이 발생해 13명이 숨지고 200여 명이 다쳤습니다.
Egypt's former President Mohammed Morsi, the country's first democratically elected leader, collapsed in a courtroom and died, according to officials.
이집트 최초 민선 대통령이었던 무하마드 무르시 전 대통령이 간첩 혐의로 재판을 받던 도중 숨졌습니다.
Huawei's founder said overseas smartphone sales have fallen 40% since the U.S. in May threatened to blacklist the company.
지난 5월 화웨이의 스마트폰 판매가 전월 대비 40% 급감한 것으로 나타났습니다.
More than 2 billion people across the world still have no access to safe drinking water, according to UNICEF and the World Health Organization.
전 세계 20억 명 이상이 깨끗한 식수를 공급받지 못하고 있다는 세계보건기구와 유니세프의 보고서가 나왔습니다. Well, for the headlines and more, I'm joined by Walter 선생님. Good morning.
Well, good morning to you, and as always, a very enthusiastic good morning to all of our listeners and viewers. Just wanted to shake it up there a little bit. Don't want to be too predictable.
Well, I'll say it then. A hearty good morning to everyone out there from me. 최윤화 님이요. A hearty good morning, 수진쌤, 월터쌤이라고 보내주셨습니다.
Very nice, that's catching on.
It is indeed. In the opening today, we talked about a 600-year-old tree that fell, and it only takes moments for hundreds and hundreds of years to collapse. That makes you think sometimes.
Yeah, it's really a shame. I've seen some of the older trees in Korea, and I mean, they're impressive, and really around the world. I've seen some of the older trees in Canada and the US, and when you see them, there's just something, they have an impact on you. You can almost feel their ancient wisdom. That sounds a bit poetic, but
Yeah.
if anyone's been there, maybe they've felt the same.
Well, the next time I look at tree trunks, I'm going to have to respect these trees a little bit more. That, of course, is related to the quiz today.
Yeah, that's a great hint.
Okay, let's go over the headlines.
Headline number 1. U.S. President Donald Trump kicks off his 2020 re-election bid in Orlando, Florida.
도널드 트럼프 미국 대통령이 오늘 플로리다주 올랜도에서 재선 도전을 공식 선언합니다.
So Orlando, Florida, well, the state of Florida in particular has been a place where President Trump has spent a lot of time. In fact, he spent more time there recently than in any other state, excluding, of course, the area around Washington, D.C.
Why is that?
Well, there are several reasons to that. He owns a club there, the Mar-a-Lago Club, as well as 3 golf clubs, but also his campaign manager and his chief pollster also live in Florida, and his campaign's chief spokeswoman grew up in that state, and it is a very important state for him because he did win that state in the previous election, and that was something that a Republican candidate hadn't done since, I believe, 2004.
네, 플로리다는 이제 대표적인 스윙 스테이트입니다. 경합주인데요. 트럼프 대통령이 재선 출정식을 플로리다에서 갖고요. 또 민주당의 첫 TV 토론 역시 플로리다에서 열립니다. 이 플로리다는 전체 미국 대통령 선거인단 중에서 3번째로 많은 선거인단을 보유한 곳이기도 합니다. 첫 번째로는 캘리포니아, 그다음에 텍사스, 그리고 나서 뉴욕과 함께 이제 플로리다인데요. 대표적으로 이제 북쪽과 남쪽이 나뉘어서 플로리다의 남부는 민주당 지지자가 굉장히 많다고 하고요. 북쪽은 또 공화당 지지자가 굉장히 많다고 합니다.
So the margin of victory in the past election in Florida for President Trump was approximately 113,000 votes, or 113,000 people. So both parties, the Republicans and the Democrats, have been launching so-called voter registration campaigns, trying to get more people on the voters list. And both parties are reporting that they've recruited or added to the voting list approximately 200,000 people each. So that would be enough to overcome that margin of victory.
Well, talking about number of people, it's going to be about 100,000 people coming to watch President Trump announce his rerun, I suppose, for the presidential election. 트럼프 대통령이 이제 현지 시간으로는 18일 오후 8시인데요. 우리 시간으로는 오늘 오전 9시입니다. 이제 1시간 남았거든요. 올랜도 아무웨이 센터에서 대선 출마를 공식 선언하는데 이 자리에 약 10만 명 이상의 관람을 위한 관람객들이 올 것이다. 시민들이 모일 것이다라는 예상이 있고요. 아무웨이 센터 수용 인원의 한 5배라고 합니다. 그래서 거의 무슨 가수 콘서트장을 연상케 할 정도로 이제 텐트를 치고 밖에서 기다리는 분도 굉장히 많다고 합니다.
Yeah, you're right. The center where the event is being held is said to have a capacity of just 20,000 people, but there were, according to President Trump, applications for, as you said, 5 times that, 100,000 people. So certainly there's a lot of interest there, at least based on those numbers.
What about the Democratic Party?
Well, as I mentioned, they have been engaging in activities. They're not giving up on the state of Florida. They have engaged in these so-called voter registration activities as well. They are working on trying to get back an advantage there in that state. They said that they have approximately 90 what they called field organizers on the ground there, and that they've spent millions to register these voters ahead of that 2020 election.
네, 민주당은 아직은 날짜가 좀 남았는데요. 26일과 27일 플로리다 마이애미에서 TV 토론을 시작합니다. 그러면서 이제 대선 주자를 뽑기 위한 경선 레이스에 나서게 되는데요. 조금 후에 뉴스 포커스에서 대선 후보들에 대한 얘기도 조금 더 나누도록 하겠습니다. 이렇게 이제 양당은 코커스라고 하는 당원 대회와 프라이머리라고 하는 예비 선거를 통해서 각 당의 대선 후보를 선출하고요. 민주당은 내년 7월, 공화당은 내년 8월에 이렇게 해서 대선 후보가 결정이 되고 선거일은 내년 11월 3일입니다. Let's go over the next headline.
Headline number 2. The Trump administration said it will not allow new aid funding to the Central American nations of El Salvador, Honduras, and Guatemala.
트럼프 행정부가 엘살바도르, 과테말라, 온두라스 등 중미 3개국의 원조 중단이라는 압박 카드를 빼들었습니다.
So there are, I think, 2 important factors to this story. One of them is the key word new in that headline. So there have already been funding packages in place for those countries. Those, although perhaps in a slightly lesser amount, those still will be applied, but there will be, at least at this point, no future aid packages sent to those countries.
네, 그렇습니다. 미 국무부는요, 지금까지 미국이 불법 이민자들의 수를 줄이기 위한 어떤 조치를 잘 취하지 못한 것으로 판단을 해서 이렇게 원조 프로그램 중단이라는 발표를 하게 됐다. 이렇게 설명을 했습니다. And that, of course, comes on the heels of what happened with Mexico. But, of course, a deal broke between the two sides there.
A lot of people are making that same comparison, yes. With Mexico, it was more or less a threat. If Mexico does not do something related to immigration, then President Trump would impose these tariffs. Here, the aid is being reduced and, of course, also blocked for future aid. But there is that sort of similar condition placed upon the aid, saying that if the countries do more to reduce migrant flows to the United States, then new aid packages could be introduced in the future. There had been $615 million in assistance packages that in March President Trump cut entirely. However, now approximately $430 million of that $615 million will be applied.
Right. There are people who are opposing this, of course, on the opposite side.
Yes, of course, there are. Well, President Trump's own party, in fact, was quite critical of the initial cut of the complete $615 million package. He did receive some criticism over that. Having said that, being put through at a slightly lesser amount, $430 million, as you said, there is some pushback on that.
네, 그렇습니다. 이 계획에 반대하는 미국 의원들은요, 기아와 범죄를 해결하려고 분투하는 나라들이거든요. 이 중미 3개국이. 이 나라들에 대한 원조 중단은 굉장히 잔인한 행동이다라고 하면서 이 조치는 불법 이민자 수를 줄인다기보다는 오히려 늘릴 가능성이 굉장히 높다. 그래서 역효과가 날 수 있다고 경고를 하고 있습니다. Let's go on to our third headline.
At least 13 people have been killed and 200 injured after a 6.0 magnitude earthquake hit Sichuan province in southern China.
중국 서남부 스촨성에서 규모 6.0의 지진이 발생해 13명이 숨지고 200여 명이 다쳤습니다.
Well, of course, this is an ongoing story, and already there are some discrepancies in some of the numbers. The 6.0 magnitude measure, I think, was set by the Chinese measuring agency. The United States agency put it at 5.8, but regardless, that is a relatively large quake. More than 4,000 people have been relocated as a result of that. There's said to be some 5,000 tents being dispatched, as well as 10,000 foldable cots to help people on the scene. Hundreds of firefighters already dispatched there. Examples of some of the damage we've seen: highways have been cracked and closed, and there's been reports of buildings collapsing, most particularly a hotel that was very close to the absolute center of the quake.
네, 이렇게 건물이 완전히 무너지면서 인명피해가 속출했는데요. 70여 개의 건물이 완전히 무너져 내렸다고 하고요. 12개의 건물은 크게 파손됐다고 합니다. 또 본진 발생 이후 어제까지 계속 여진이 50여 차례 이어지면서 많은 현지 주민들이 집에 돌아가지 못하고 있는 상태라고 합니다. 또 규모 5 이상의 여진도 또 2차례 어제 오후 있었습니다.
And they do have an early warning system there that apparently was triggered about 1 minute before the earthquake struck. The early warning system triggered. It issued an alarm that ran for 10 seconds before the actual earthquake hit. And there are reports that say a 3-second warning of earthquakes can reduce casualties by as much as 14%.
네. 또한 이번 지진으로 그 직선거리로 한 200km가량 떨어진 스촨성 성도 청두죠. 청두시와 충칭시에서도 이 여진이 느껴졌다고 합니다. Let's go on to headline number 4.
Egypt's former President Mohammed Morsi, the country's first democratically elected leader, collapsed in a courtroom and died, according to officials.
이집트 최초 민선 대통령이었던 무하마드 무르시 전 대통령이 간첩 혐의로 재판을 받던 도중 숨졌습니다.
Well, certainly surprising news. He was 67 years of age at the time of his passing, and according to reports, he collapsed moments after addressing a court. in Cairo over charges of espionage related to suspected contacts with the group Hamas, which of course has been said to have close ties to the Muslim Brotherhood, and it is that group, the Muslim Brotherhood, to which Morsi had been a member in the past.
이집트 국영TV는요, 그의 사인이 심장마비라고 전했습니다. It's a heart attack?
That is what the reports have been so far. He collapsed in the courtroom. He was said to be inside of this soundproof glass cage so that he wouldn't be disrupting the events going on there. But after his collapse, taken to a hospital at 4:50 p.m. local time and was pronounced dead, yes, and the cause of death being a heart attack.
네, 주 이집트 한국 대사관은요, 긴급 안전공지를 통해서 소요 사태 등 이집트 내 불안 가능성이 있으니 교민은 공공장소 출입을 삼가시고 또 개인 신변 안전에 각별히 유의해달라고 당부한 상태입니다. 무슬림 형제단 등 이제 무르시 지지 세력이 무르시의 사망을 계기로 반정부 행동에 나설 개연성이 있다고 지금 외신은 보도하고 있습니다. Let's go on to our next headline.
Headline number 5, Huawei's founder said overseas smartphone sales have fallen 40% since the U.S. threatened in May to blacklist the company.
지난 5월 화웨이의 스마트폰 판매가 전월 대비 40% 급감한 것으로 나타났습니다.
So the way this came about, there had already been some reports or some anonymous sources at least saying that the overseas smartphone sales of Huawei had fallen 40%. In a meeting organized at the company's headquarters, a reporter posed this question to the founder and CEO of Huawei, to which he responded, yes, they have indeed fallen 40%. He did, however, go on to add that growth of sales in China did remain very fast.
네, 자세한 수치는 공개되지 않았지만 5월 화웨이의 스마트폰 판매가 그 전달에 비해서 40% 줄었다라고 발표가 됐습니다. 도널드 트럼프 미국 대통령이 지난달 화웨이 사용 금지 행정명령을 내린 후 있었던 일로 이렇게 분석을 할 수 있겠죠?
Yes, indeed. There was this so-called blacklist that we've reported on several times. There was also a list called the entity list, which companies need to be granted permission from Washington for doing business in and with the U.S. It is notable, however, that at that time, Huawei was granted a 90-day reprieve, meaning that they were not actually, that was not actually enforced for 90 days, despite being issued in May.
네. 화웨이 회장은 이렇게 스마트폰 판매량이 줄었지만 그래도 회사의 미래를 위해서 연구개발비는 줄지 않겠다라고 강조를 했는데요. Looking at the big picture, this is part of the trade war between the US and China, is it not?
Well, it certainly seems to be the case. I think much of what we've seen and reported on would be indicative of that, the banning, the blacklisting, the imposition of tariffs, and this just seems to be one piece in that puzzle, as you say, of the bigger picture.
All right. And our final headline, number 6.
Our final headline today, more than 2 billion people across the world still have no access to safe drinking water according to UNICEF and the World Health Organization.
전 세계 20억 명 이상이 깨끗한 식수를 공급받지 못하고 있다는 세계보건기구와 유니세프의 보고서가 나왔습니다.
So the number given in the headline of 2 billion is actually closer to 2.2 billion people who still lack access to safe drinking water. Within that 2.2 billion, it said that about 785 million people do not have any protected water source within a half-hour distance. That's traveling by foot is the standard that's used for measurement there.
네, 깨끗한 식수가 공급되지 않는 이 22억 명 가운데 한 7억 8천 명은 도보로 30분 거리 이내에 접근할 수 있는 깨끗한 식수원이 없다고 합니다. WHO는 전 세계에서 이렇게 깨끗한 물 그리고 위생적인 화장실 또 오폐수 처리 시설이 보편화되면 그러면은 뭐 설사병, 콜레라, 장티푸스 A형 간염은 사라질 수 있다라고 얘기를 하고 있는데요. Of course, a lot of work has been done to provide water to people around the world, so we have that figure as well.
Well, that is true. There have been what people are calling significant gains made in achieving clean water, with some 1.8 billion people getting access to basic drinking water services, again, reachable within 30 minutes on foot, and that's since the year 2000. So 1.8 people since the year 2000.
네, 지난 2000년 이래 기본적인 식수 장치가 보급돼서 또 전 세계 한 18억 명가량은 걸어서 30분 이내 거리에 깨끗한 식수원을 확보할 수 있게 됐다는 그 데이터도 공개했습니다. Those were our headlines for this morning. 선생님, could you remind our listeners of the quiz?
I would be happy to do that. It's all about trees. Most trees have a strong body that supports branches and leaves. These bodies are known as blank. Is it number 1, trunks, or number 2, junks?
짧은 문자 50원, 긴 문자 100원에 샵 1045로 보내주시고요. 반디 게시판이나 카카오톡 플러스 이용도 가능합니다. 1부에서는 추첨을 통해 총 5분께 쿨링 스포츠 젤 보내드리겠습니다. We'll be right back after a song by Little Mix, No More Sad Songs.